What's up, nerds? Been a minute. I'll be honest, I don't really want to do this, but I feel like I'm getting spiritually kicked in the gut to say something. So here we go, much as I don't want to. Be held accountable for what I did and didn't do, right? I don't know about anybody else, but for this past couple weeks, it's been rough, man. It's been a full moon kind of month. Just everything that kind of can go wrong will go wrong. Getting run ragged, run exhausted one way or another sometimes. Things happening and everything like that. It seems like I ain't the only one that's kind of been feeling that way, right? Something I've been trying to find lately is just kind of praying for rest and a little bit of peace, right? You read Psalm 62:5. It says, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." And then you read Matthew 11:28 through 30. It says, "Come to me, all who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls." But saying, "Come and give me rest," and I can give you rest, and knowing how to rest in Jesus, are all kind of different lessons to learn. And I was kind of thinking, how do you find rest in Jesus a little bit? And a very unexpected verse that I never fully kind of understood until now has helped me a little bit with it. It's actually Matthew 19:13 through 15, and it says, "One day some parents brought their children to Jesus so he could lay his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples scolded the parents for bothering them. Jesus said, 'Let the children come to me. Don't stop them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children.' And he placed his hands on their heads and blessed them before he left." And there's a couple different, probably sermons or truck talks or whatever, a bunch of different lessons you can learn from that one about being a parent, taking your kids to Jesus, right? How we ought to treat the younger and more innocent society as a whole, things of that nature. But something that I've never fully understood was, "For the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children." And I was thinking, like, well, how does being like a kid kind of draw you closer to Jesus? Especially going back to the whole first point of this video on finding rest in Him, right? And I was thinking about that some while I was trying to get kids down, right? Got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. I've learned a lot from them whenever it comes to Jesus, and a lot from the 2-year-old lately in rest, because 2-year-olds don't ever want to sleep, right? At all. Doesn't matter what you do. Room's perfect temperature, they don't care. You try to get them to sleep, you hold them, "Hey, I want a water, I want a blanket, I want a stuffy, I want this. Room's too cold, I want my socks on, I want my socks off, these pajamas are too whatever," right? And if we're God's children, right, how many times do we act like that with God, right? Where He's trying to take care of us, and instead of actually doing what He's saying to do or listening to Him, we kind of go off on our own thing, telling God what we want and how we need it and everything like that. Especially like whenever it comes to exhaustion, like kids in Walmart, right? You ever do your grocery shopping with young kids and you're out a little bit later past their bedtime, pushing about 6:30, 7 o'clock, right? Kids exhausted, and they want to go tearing off through the parking lot, so you pick them up so they don't get hit by a car, and then they start yelling and kicking and screaming because they're exhausted. How many times do we do that to Jesus? Where He's like, "Hey, I'm going to pick you up from this situation. I'm going to carry you so that you don't die," right? Spiritually or figuratively or literally. And we just absolutely pitch a fit about it, right? It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. The only thing he's trying to do is keep us from killing ourselves and doing something stupid. And then he tries to put us to bed sometimes, right? Make us rest, give us rest, like he says that he does, right? And we can find rest in him. And sometimes when he tries to give us that rest, we are so exhausted from all the BS of the world that we just absolutely pitch a fit because we don't understand, right? And we think what we need is we need a bottle of water. We need a stuffy. We need a blanket. Well, I need this house. Well, I need this truck. If I can just get this bill paid. Well, if she would just shut up. If he would just text me back or whatever it is, right? And trying to find satisfaction and rest in things that don't give us satisfaction and rest, right? And all Jesus is doing is holding us and trying to get us to go to sleep before we do anything else and to give us rest, right? And the only way that you can get a 2-year-old like that to go to sleep, you gotta outlast them, right? There's nothing you can do except just holding them close and dancing with them until they finally pass out. I think sometimes, God has to deal with us the same way because he is a good father and we are his kids. And sometimes acting like kids, we act a little bit foolish, right? But even as a dad myself, getting my kids down, getting them to bed, there is almost no greater feeling after all the frustration of trying to get them to sleep when you know they need to sleep and they don't want to go to sleep, when they want rest and need rest, but they don't want to give into it, and they finally give into it. Man, what an absolute honor to be holding that child and knowing that of everything in the world and everybody in the world and everything that they could be doing right now, they feel safe enough with you to finally get some rest, right? And I think that God kind of feels the same way with us a little bit sometimes, right? He loves us so much, and like a child, we love him so much, right? We trust him. When the exhaustion finally catches up to you or anything like that, right? What an honor to be held by the creator of the universe and rocked into rest. When all you want to do is fight the exhaustion, or at least a part of you wants to just fight the exhaustion and keep going thinking you need to do more. But there's nothing more that you can contribute to your salvation. You're not the one swinging the hammer to nail your own sin to the cross, right? That's something I thought I had to do for a long time, was wake up and immediately get an aggressive mindset of find my sinful self and nail him to the cross, right? And that's what I had to do every day. And there is truth in that, right? But I think part of it was that I liked feeling like I was swinging the hammer to nail my sins to the cross because it felt like I was contributing something to it, when the only thing that I have ever contributed to my salvation is the sin that made it necessary in the first place. That's it. That's the only thing I brought to the table. Is being disobedient, being sinful, right? Being full of pride, giving God a reason to have to come down here and straighten things out, right? And sometimes the only thing that I can do is just come to the cross and lay stuff at the feet of it, right? That's it. I can't nail anything to it. I can't swing that hammer. I can't hold the nail up there, right? The only thing I brought was the sin that pinned Jesus to the cross in the first place, for me and for you. And all I can do is bring it and lay it down at the feet, right? And when I stop trying to swing that hammer, whenever I stop wearing myself out trying to do something that I can't do, right? Whenever I finally give in and let myself find rest, man, it's a whole different level of restoration that happens, right? And then like those little kids, wake up the next day and man, they're absolutely ready to take on the world, right? And as a parent, you want your kid to have an amazing day every single day. A part of that amazing day is that they got to go to sleep at some point, right? So they can do what needs doing the next day, right? Whether it's going to school, cleaning your room, going to the zoo, whatever, right? Shoot, even God found rest, right? Seventh day, Sabbath, one of the 10 Commandments. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy, right? Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, kind of thing. Even throughout your entire week, right? Man's supposed to work 6 days, take the 7th day and chill, right? Get right with God. Spend time with Him. Spend time with your family. Don't be worried about everything else that's going on, right? World's been spinning for thousands of years without you here keeping it spinning. You can take a day off every week to just chill. Yeah, that's all I got. We're all God's kids. Sometimes we're the moody teenagers, and sometimes when our terrible twos kicking and screaming and fighting everything He's trying to give us, and all He's trying to do is just keep us alive. But whenever it comes to rest, about the only thing you can do is just whatever is causing you all that kind of stress and everything that's got you going 100 miles an hour, lay it at the foot of the cross. Don't even try to nail it up there right now, right? Just drop it off for Jesus to be able to do with it what He's going to do with it, which is turn it into something good for you, right? One way or another. Curl up on His shoulder and go to sleep. About all you can do. Then whenever you wake up, be time to hit it again. And after you hit it again, it's gonna be time for rest. It's gonna be cycles. That's all I got. See you.